right, it's time to reconvene. I know you're having fun talking, but there'll be other times to talk. And I just want to make sure, if you aren't already planning on being up on the rooftop at Interior tonight at 5:30, change whatever plans you have. The weather's going to be good. And we have, in addition to wine, beer, food, we have ice cream. So this will be our kickoff for Great Outdoors Month, and we're going to have some fun. Now, before we get started with the Beacon Awards, I want to show a little video that I think you'll enjoy. So, the contrast between what was on the screen and the pretty pictures over here is kind of interesting, and you'll probably say, what? Anyway, let's see what we can find out.
Everybody on the floor! This is a robbery!
Don't move!
Get down! Now.
Don't move!
Get down and stay down!
You move! The money! Money! Open the vault!
Mr. Johnson? Eric Johnson?
How does she know your name?
I don't know.
Your mobile app pinged us when you walked in. Looks like you were on our website and thinking about buying a house.
You moving out, man?
I need my space.
You may think you can't afford a new home, but we have some amazing new rates. I could text them to you.
Oh, those are fantastic.
And Mr. Davis?
Yeah, it's me.
Did you click on one of our emails about consolidating your student loans?
Maybe.
Oh, well, we can help you with that too.
Hey, what are you doing? This is a robbery, remember? We gotta go! Come on!
Can I lock those rates in on the app?
Well, of course you can, sugar.
Okay, so you're saying, well, that's fun, but let's play that again, Ben.
On the floor! This is a robbery!
Don't move!
Get down! Now.
Don't move!
Get down and stay down!
You move! The money! Money! Open the vault!
Mr. Johnson? Eric Johnson?
How does she know your name?
I don't know.
Your mobile app pinged us when you walked in. Looks like you were on our website and thinking about buying a house.
You moving out, man?
I need my space.
You may think you can't afford a new home, but we have some amazing new rates. I could text them to you.
Oh, those are fantastic.
And Mr. Davis?
Yeah, it's me.
Did you click on one of our emails about consolidating your student loans?
Maybe.
Oh, well, we can help you with that too.
Hey, what are you doing? This is a robbery, remember? We gotta go! Come on!
Can I lock those rates in on the app?
Well, of course you can, sugar.
Thanks.
Okay, so what does that have to do with Partners Outdoors? Well, the answer is that right now we're turning to our Beacon Awards, which are talking about using technology to make outdoor recreation more fun or to make management of outdoor recreation better. Just as they were able to pick out who these masked men were, technology helps us provide customized recreation experiences to people who are coming onto the great outdoors. And we just need to understand that we can do that in a very creative and powerful way. And that's what we're all about here with our Beacon Awards. The Beacon Awards were begun in 2005. It was an attempt on the part of ARC and our federal partners to say technology can be our friend if we manage it well, if we invite the people who are the technology providers to understand what they can do to help us make being outdoors great fun, if we can figure out ways to supplement the information that people get through traditional forms. It's a solution for all kinds of things, like, for example, as you probably know, ARC was actively involved in the Scenic Byways and Backcountry Byway program, and we invested a lot of money trying to figure out how to prevent people from dotting I's with rifle bullets in our display panels. Well, the information now can come to what 97% of all millennials carry. And in fact, again, hard for me as a boomer to understand this, but if you poll 16-year-old boys in this country about their most prized possession, it's not their car, it's their smartphone. And we just need to understand that the world is changing, and we should be looking at how we deliver great experiences harnessing technology. And that's what this is all about. Our Beacon Awards recognize, again, the application of technology to either enhancing recreation experiences or improving the management of the resources, the great outdoors resources. We have 4 criteria that we use to evaluate the nominations. The agencies nominate the award recipients. We have a screening panel of people who are skilled in the application of technology that looks at the awards and weighs them. And this year we have 4 great Beacon Award recipients. And we're delighted to honor them here today. Each one is different, but each one has scalability and can be replicated as we move forward. So to begin our presentation, we're going to look at one of the hidden gems. The Bureau of Land Management has real estate that's east of the Mississippi River, and that's known to the acting director of the Bureau of Land Management because he did time as the Eastern States Director. I said that purposefully. He was also a great partner in our WOW program, Wonderful Outdoor World. And if anyone wants to know where the governor's campouts that will occur this month began, it was with a BLM Eastern States sponsored WOW trailer that joined us up in Hartford, Connecticut in Bushnell Park to bring Jody Rail and her team, who included the woman who was to become our EPA administrator during the Obama years, as our chief pancake flipper. But anyway, I'm getting off target here. Let me invite Ned. And Ned, why don't you bring up Karen Morrison, who's now in your Eastern States role, to come up here, along with our award recipient, Catherine Cassender. And Catherine, can I call you Katie? Okay, Katie. Let me talk a little bit about why we're recognizing Katie's work. Katie recognized that there are some 500 river and lake islands in Wisconsin that are managed by the Bureau of Land Management, and they offer outstanding and diverse opportunities for paddling, camping, nature photography, bird watching, and more. She created the Wisconsin Islands Story Map, lovingly known as WISM, to expand public awareness and help the public find these hidden gems across the state of Wisconsin. WISM provides easily accessible information about allowable uses and helps the public plan resting and camping sites as they're paddling through Wisconsin waterways. Katie joined BLM in 2015 after her college experience through the American Conservation Experience Professional Internship Corps, which provides volunteer and internship placements for students and recent graduates, and gave her direct line hire capabilities with the Bureau of Land Management, and that's an important asset that we are celebrating too. Passionate about outdoor recreation and protecting the nation's resources, Katie saw the WISM project as a perfect blend of professional and personal interest. WISM is accessible on mobile devices as well as on your home computer, and it utilizes BLM's eGIS portal. Users can follow a waterway or tour individual islands with maps and photographs, zooming in for information such as size and allowable uses. The islands, the 500 islands, are classified as day use only, limited camping, dispersed camping, and urban camping based on size and other factors, including archaeological sensitivity and more. WISM has raised BLM's visibility in the eastern half of the United States and has already sparked a companion website for the state of Minnesota featuring the BLM Islands. And so, join me in congratulating BLM and Katie for this wonderful edition. Basically explains why we gave the award. Mike, do you want to say something about Katie's work?
Well, certainly, Derek, and thank you. But before I say about Katie's work, let me set the record straight. I didn't do time in Wisconsin. No, no, thank you for that. Certainly had the pleasure of being in BLM Eastern State from 2000 to 2007. But Katie, want to congratulate you. It is employees like Katie that makes BLM what I like to call the BLM strong. We go out and find individuals to help us do the work, and then BLM come together with partners to create experience that is going to last a lifetime. So thank you for the wonderful work, Karen. Thank you for your leadership. And Derek, thank you for Partners Outdoor, and thank you for American Coalition.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Director. Katie, would you like to say something?
I would.
Okay, I'll take this off. You don't have to.
Thank you. I feel really honored to have received this award. The last time I was on a stage like this was actually almost exactly 2 years ago when I got my Bachelor's of Science from UW-Milwaukee. And so it's been a long journey since then. I remember sitting down with my mom a few days after and having no idea what I was going to do. She reminded me of something she told me my whole life. It doesn't matter what you do in life. Even if you're a ditch digger, you're going to be the best damn ditch digger there ever was. And so I have carried those words with me for a really long time, and when I started at the Northeastern States District Office, I saw a problem, and the problem was that there wasn't a lot of public awareness for these islands, and so I set forth on a mission and kind of picked out the people who wanted to help me most, and those same people are actually the ones who nominated me for this award. So I have to thank them and all the wonderful leaders I've had, and there's been a lot of change going on, and one of those changes is going to be my last name will be changing soon, so I want to thank my lovely fiance for coming out here with me too and being so supportive. So thank you all so much for having me, and thank you for this award.
Thank you, Katie. I'll take the microphone. Karen, do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Derek. I had the pleasure of going to 3 or 4 of the islands with Katie last fall, and we went out in a canoe, and we went to the islands, and it was really neat, and we saw other members of the public out there, so that was neat too. So we're really proud of Katie and the work, and thank you very much. And we're so glad that you're with us working on these projects.
And we are too, so pass the word. There's excitement to go work for BLM, the Forest Service, and Fish and Wildlife Service, and everything else. So good. Katie, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. And we'll invite Mike to stay up here. Mike is the acting director of the Bureau of Land Management during a very interesting time. And, we've had some email exchanges, and we're wishing Mike the very best as some of the exciting opportunities evolve, and particularly celebrating the fact that he's back spending some time thinking about recreation with us. So glad to have you back in the fold. We're going to invite Andy Tenney and Ann Baker Easley to join us up here for the second of the Beacon Awards, and this is being presented to the Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado. Ann is a symbol of care for the outdoors in the great state of Colorado, and it's so much fun to be able to bring her here and to talk about the partnership between BLM and Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado. Let me tell you a little bit about this. We're recognizing Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado and BLM for their joint work on an app that makes stewardship and understanding stewardship easy and fun in the state of Colorado. It's part of a Your Colorado mobile application, and it involves a Public Lands Champion badge. The app is actually a part of a broader Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado do-it-yourself stewardship program. A great idea. It uses technology to help produce a broader audience of outdoor stewards for Colorado's lands. The app offers easy, anywhere and anytime capability to aid Outdoors Colorado. Physical prizes combined with virtual prizes, and the physical prizes include posters, lunch bags, and water bottles. While the app is targeted towards youth and families, the truth is that anyone with access to a smartphone can be a participant in this. Badges are earned after completing a series of tasks that correspond with particular badges. There are 16 badges in total. For example, the Eco Ambassador badge involves ecological tasks such as planting native trees or flowers, counting birds, using energy-efficient appliances. Outdoor Agent offers tasks which revolve around the importance of caring for Colorado's outdoors and recruiting future stewards. The new Public Lands Champion badge promotes the importance of Colorado's public lands, not only BLM, but all public lands in the state of Colorado. Through specific tasks, this badge encourages people, particularly youth, to gain knowledge and experience about Colorado's public lands. The badge also includes key BLM youth initiatives such as the Junior Ranger program and the Junior Explorer booklets. The app informs users about upcoming Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado projects and volunteer opportunities, and was the subject of a marketing plan that made extensive use of social media, including Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and more. BLM have harnessed technology to create great opportunities for youth and individuals of all backgrounds to relate meaningfully to the outdoors. So congratulations to Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado and BLM. Thank you. And we'll stand and we'll... Mike, do you want to start off again?
Well, thank you again. Volunteers are very important to BLM, and certainly would like to thank you. In 2016, we had 27,000 volunteer, a large number from Colorado. And so I like to say that makes BLM 37,000 strong with the 27,000 volunteers. So thank you for the great work you're doing there, and we appreciate your work.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for this award. Volunteers for Outdoor Colorado has been around in our state for about 33 years, and historically we've done large group-based projects. And several years ago in the development of the app, the idea was, how do we build a broader network of folks that care about the outdoors but may not be able to do it on projects that we might be organizing? How do we create a better ethic of stewardship? So the badge was developed. I want to thank the Bureau of Land Management for your leadership as a public land agency, because without Ruth Welch and Jack Palaki in Colorado and all those that worked on this badge, we wouldn't have this. All the badges that are on this particular downloadable through the iTunes or Google Android downloadables are all ones that are done in partnership. So we have one with Colorado State Parks, and we might partner with other organizations so that when you're earning the badge, you're also learning about organizations that are taking care of the outdoors in their unique ways. So thank you very much for this honor. I'm representing a full staff that worked on this, and I'm just here for the glory, but they were really there for all the hard work. So thank you very much. Thank you, Derek.
Andy, do you want to add anything? Thank you very much. And just FYI, it didn't say Colorado Volunteers for Outdoors Colorado. So any of you on vacation, if you go to Colorado, Ann would be happy to put you to work as a volunteer for Outdoor Colorado. All right. And now, if we could invite Bob Rycliffe and April Slayton to come up, I'd like to introduce the third recipient of a 2017 Beacon Award. This goes to the Park Service, and specifically to the team that worked on the redesign of NPS.gov. Let me tell you a little bit about it. The Centennial of the Park Service offered the opportunity for the Park Service digital team to showcase efforts to improve visitor experience with NPS digital products and to enable partners and stakeholders to more easily access NPS data and information for digital development purposes. The result is a major redesign and functionality upgrade to NPS.gov. The project has improved trip planning experiences, updated the site's look-through fonts, iconography, and other graphic elements, and introduced the use of structured data so that there was consistency from unit to unit and program to program. The program also introduced the use of structured data and a mobile responsive design and an array of new tools that NPS web authors can now use to communicate information about their parks and programs. The site now has standardized information about each park unit, and since the new design launched in spring of 2016, web traffic to Park Service to the nps.gov has grown significantly. The Park Service now offers an application programming interface, API, of structured data accessible to all developers who wish to use it for the creation of maps, apps, and other digital tools. The site can now integrate several new digital tools and functions, which will continue to grow in number to deliver new information in a variety of ways to users. For example, the web page for Yellowstone National Park now delivers real-time occupancy information for lodging within the park. So, based upon all of the success of taking a very important project underway in celebration for the centennial, we're delighted to recognize the NPS Internet team for its great work on improving the nps.gov website. Congratulations. It really is. And, you know, all of us appreciate how hard it is to take a system as disparate and to be able to introduce some standardization and to make it easier for people to find the information. But we're so glad that you were able to undertake that. Would you like to say something?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Derek, and to the whole group here. The Park Service has some of the most remarkable and beautiful places in the world, and we thought perhaps we should be able to demonstrate them and share them with more people through our website. And so that was a big priority for us for our centennial. We've been really fortunate to work with great partners and great staff, and with 417 units, each one with a remarkably different and beautiful story, making sure that this website allowed them to be flexible and have their own look and feel while being consistent across all the parks was a huge challenge. And making sure that our visitors can find all that great information was key. And so beyond that, you talked a little about the structure, which can get very complicated very fast, but this new design will help us to integrate more information from partners and other organizations into our website moving forward. So we're really excited about the way this website sets us up for the future and future partnerships and the ability for everybody to work better together. So thank you, and thank you for this wonderful award recognizing a really great team.
Congratulations. Bob, do you want to say something?
Okay, just a few things. First of all, neither April or I had really anything to do with this. So this is a shout out to the team out there. They are truly virtual. They live all around the country and they work with each other continuously. And this was a mammoth undertaking. 417 units. It's like herding cats, you know. But I think it was a major step forward, especially around the API, the ability for this system to share data externally and for others to use applications that use this data is really important, and that it's locally fed. Each one of our parks does the content and management of it, which is really important when you're trying to develop visitor expectations and establish high-quality experiences. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And congratulations to the two of you and all of that virtual team. Thank you. And that gives us one more Beacon Award, and we are delighted to do that. Joe Mead is back there, and you know, Joe's been referenced several times by several people. He was involved in the origins of Partners Outdoors. In fact, he founded the subset of Partners Outdoors called Partners Indoors. It was a after-hours gathering around dueling piano bars down on at Walt Disney World. So we're glad that he's back with us. For those who don't know, after a career that's extended something like 37 years, tremendous career, and we'll hear more from Joe tomorrow. Joe will be leaving the Forest Service. He claims that he's going to retire. I don't believe that for a second, but I do know that he has contributed massively to this meeting and to the sense of partnership with his desk guide to partnerships for the Forest Service and more. So it's appropriate to recognize him here. We also want to bring up with him Jeff Ward, Damian Hoffman, and Tyler Hockney, who are here. And And let me tell you a little bit about why we're asking these three and Joe to be here for a truly significant development. This presentation goes to the northern region of the Forest Service, and it goes jointly to the National Technology and Development Program, to the CIO Enterprise Business Solutions Services, and to pilot test site coordinators for 3 national forests in the northern region. Those organizations and people came together to develop a pilot unattended digital information delivery. UDID, UDID, you know, in this acronym-laden world we live in. Some of us would simply call it a digital kiosk, but, you know, we got the point here. And the device was developed by the Missoula, what used to be the Missoula Technology Center, and it's based around a small router that creates a local wireless network to deliver digital content to mobile devices. The kiosks allow visitors to easily download maps, brochures, and other site-specific information to their mobile devices at high speed. Content, including real-time alerts and frequent updates, is easily uploaded by local staff using a USB drive. No internet or cellular connectivity is required, and power consumption is minimal, making these devices ideal for solar power and battery. Kiosks were installed at Lolo Pass Visitor Center, at the Blue Mountain Recreation Area Trailhead, and at the Munising Interagency Visitor Center. Visitors could utilize the kiosks even when the sites were unmanned. They downloaded audio narratives, videos, photos, brochures, and maps, and the information was used by those who were going over snow, by campers, by mountain bikers, by rock climbers, and many others. The downloaded information could be viewed on any browser and could be stored for later use, triggered with various kinds of geotags. The equipment cost for the kiosks was astonishing. It was minimal. Approximately $300 per kiosk for the router, batteries, photovoltaic panel, and charge controller. The kiosks also proved potentially valuable to fire crews and other special incident needs. So for harnessing the promise of technology and making it deliverable to recreation enthusiasts coming to Northern Region Forest Service sites, we're proud to present the 4th of the 2017 Beacon Awards to the Forest Service Northern Region. Joe, do you want to start off the comments?
I'd love to. Do we have a lot of time? You know, the digital age we live, it's so apparent, and one of our agency top 5 priorities in our value and outdoor recreation experiences is connecting with our visitors in this digital age we live. And I think what every one of us have observed this morning through the outstanding presentations and through the Beacon Awards here through the afternoon is our real champions are those that are out in the field really making a difference, where our guests and our customers, whether through the work of the CIO, our Technology Development Center, or within the National Forest System, where we're really connecting and making innovation work for folks where they're at and for the things they need. So I just really, again, want to applaud the Beacon Award winners throughout this afternoon. I also want to turn to the American Recreation Coalition and Derek's board and help me thank them for recognizing these digital champions for quite a long spread of time now.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, team, who wants to say something?
I promised him I wouldn't embarrass him, so this is a perfect solution, low cost. If you're like Tyler, who I wouldn't embarrass, you go backcountry fishing, you pack 5 fly rods and a couple bikes and 3 cases of beer, but you forget the map on how to get to the lake. So this is something that you can install completely disconnected from anything else and provide any content that you want to those visitors. And thank you so much.
Joe,
Just wanted to echo that and say thank you very much. This was an interesting project to work on with the National Technology and Development Program, and we look forward to getting this kind of technology out there into more areas, more visitor centers, more trailheads, to provide that disconnected delivery of this information. And appreciate the award and the opportunity to talk to some other individuals around here that are also embracing some new technology for recreation. So thank you very much.
I'll make this really quick. I had nothing to do with this project other than it was already out, and I got asked to go out and look at one of the sites one afternoon all casually, and I kind of sat there and scratched my head of why did it take this long for us to have something this simple, this user-friendly, and, you know, it was right after they installed even the solar panels. And in Region 1, where we don't have, we were talking at the table, that you don't even have cell service in some of the larger towns that we live in, let alone where most of the land that we manage is at. So these routers were perfect use for that, and I think has a lot of potential, and look forward to it moving out for use on the ground. So good job, guys. Thanks.
Joe, let me walk you down here on the steps. Okay, about ready to hit the step? You know, as they said, sometimes we look for too hard a solution to problems. You know, when my router at home tells me not connected to the internet, I say, oh, I can't do anything. This proves just the opposite. You have access to the information that's available there. And with solar power and no need to tie into the internet, you actually have a tremendous asset now that's transportable, and you can put it anywhere. And again, USB stick in, you update the data, tremendous opportunities, tremendous capabilities. We have a tradition here at the Partners Outdoors program to looking for what we can do to work better together. I mean, you know, back in the days of discussion about how to reform federal recreation fees, before 1995, guess what? No fees stayed in the units, whether it was Park Service, Forest Service, Fish and Wildlife Service, BLM, no fees stayed in that unit. They all went to the Treasury. It was discussions here at Partners Outdoors that brought about an interesting proposal that was called Fee Demo. As we had hearing after hearing after hearing talking about what do we do with recreation fee policy, we ended up with a very Byzantine kind of a legislation. Jim Hansen's bill was something like 175 pages of complexity, talking about we'll do this if we do that. And finally, through the magic of discussion about problems and discussions here at Partners Outdoors, somebody said, why don't we just let the field take a crack at it? Give each agency 50 sites to try out various kinds of fee programs, let them keep the fees, and we'll learn from their successes or their failures. And that's where FLORIA came from, the Federal Lands Recreation Enhancement Act. But it was all about just getting well-intentioned people to get together and talk about how to do some things. So this Partners Outdoors can stimulate partnerships. And I'd like to introduce one of our participants and a very big champion of partnerships on the public lands. But Diana Woods is the president of the National Environmental Education Foundation. And she said, you know, let's talk about something that we can do right away. And so I said, perfect opportunity. And so now, unprepared, coming to the stage, Diana, tell us about your idea.
Thanks, Derek. Appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, please mark your calendars for September 30th, which is National Public Lands Day. And for those of you who already know, I know I can count on you coming. And the reason I talked about this with Derek was it is a public-private partnership, and it is full of opportunities for additional partnerships. This is the nation's largest single-day event to steward our public lands. NEAF has been hosting it for more than 20 years, and Toyota Motor Sales is in its 19th year of being a national sponsor, and they will be sponsoring it again this year. The public part of the partnership it involves 7 federal agencies ranging from the Department of Defense to the Forest Service, BLM is part of it, Park Service, Department of Interior, and other federal agencies identify it as a fee-free day, September 30th, so anyone who comes out to volunteer does not have to pay on the federal lands. And they receive, many of the federal agencies also give a fee-free coupon to any of those volunteers so they can return to a public land. We estimate that there are about 2,500 sites all around the country and in U.S. territories who come forward for National Public Lands Day to host volunteers. And this has been an expansion from federal lands to state, city, and what we call pocket parks as well. We estimate that there are about 220,000 volunteers that show up that day all across the country. And using the government volunteer assessment rate, it appears that they save anywhere from $18 million to $22 million of taxpayer dollars a year in their stewardship activities. The reason I wanted to bring it up with all of you here today is that of those 220,000 people, there are some regulars. They come every year and they come literally to build a trail, to clean something, and that's all business and that's all they want to do. But the majority of people come because they woke up on a Saturday and heard about this or a friend told them about it, and when they get there, they want to learn more about the lands that they're actually serving. And we have heard from different state land managers that fewer and fewer people are, of course, buying fishing licenses. And when we have people on those lands, on National Public Lands Day, they are incredibly receptive to fishing lessons. Young people learning how to fish, boating safety lessons. So I just let you know that this is an opportunity on September 30th to engage with the public in doing things that all of you represent and do, that they are quite receptive to learning about and engaging in. And I would just add that an example of how that's already happening is with REI. For over 5 years now, I think REI, the retail outlets on their own, have partnered and showed up on National Public Lands Day, and they're helping people learn how to use a compass, geocaching, all kinds of exposure to what you can do and how to enjoy the outdoors. I think we have about 70 REI stores that are showing up. So thank you, Derek. Please mark September 30th. Please consider that this day is your day, and we would welcome you in any way to work with the American public when they're outdoors, receptive to learning things from you.
Thank you, Diane. Diane's team does a marvelous job on helping to ask people to get outdoors and volunteer. And sometimes we forget about just how important it is. You know, back in my college days, I was at Dartmouth College and actively involved in the Dartmouth Hunting Club. And so we managed about 90 miles of the Appalachian Trail. And I had many nights, many days out enjoying the Appalachian Trails. But the most fun I ever had was going into the White Mountain National Forest and putting in water bars and doing other kinds of things, because we knew that after we spent a whole day out there working, getting sweaty, but we walked away knowing that thousands of people would take advantage of that and their experience would be benefited. I'm also drawn by an experience just last summer. Last summer we had the fun of working with 18 Western governors to host the Great Outdoors Western Campout. Every one of the 18 governors nominated a family from their state, not big outdoors people. These were just people who were good people. They were active in their communities, in their schools, in their churches, other kinds of things, but they didn't have much in the way of a tradition of spending time in the great outdoors. And so these governors nominated them, and we were able to help them come to Grand Teton National Park for 5 nights, and we had a wonderful experience. We did all of the things that park visitors normally do. We went out and looked at wildlife. We went hiking. We did rafting trips, all those kind of things. The last day, we went out into a national forest just outside of Jackson, Wyoming, and the families, these 18 families with kids, spent a day getting sweaty rebuilding a trail. And you know what? all 18 families came up to me at the end of that and said, of all the things that we did, the most relevant, the most fun for us as a family was that day of volunteerism out there rebuilding that trail. Partly because the week had taught them about the legacy they had about the great outdoors. Now they could do something to contribute in their own way. What a great opportunity. We just need to make sure that we make it easy for people. So whether it's Anne's app that allows you to do it anytime, anywhere, or whether it's National Public Lands Day, whether it's Cassie's way to use the islands, these hidden gems in Wisconsin, so many things that we can and should be doing. Now, the good news is we're on time, which means that we have about 15 minutes to go back. You can re-cruise the cookies. You can re-cruise the apples. You can do other kinds of things. I'll even say you can check your emails. But 15 minutes from now, 5 after 2, you need to be back here because we just may show you another video that you'll find interesting. So congratulations to all of our Beacon Award winners.